Okay, the competition section of the Healthy Active School System, you'll find the tab for this at the top of the page, top of the screen. I'm on the dashboard at the moment, but if I hover over competitions word there, you'll see that a drop down appears, and I can either input data for any intra-competitions, so level 1 competitions, any inter-competitions, level 2 competitions, and any in-house sports days that the children in my school have participated in. It's important to know that you input data for all the different types of competitions in the same way. So let's use intra competitions as an example. So if I click on that, this will take me through to the intra competition page, and there's a few things that I can instantly see here. If I start to scroll down, I can see in the main part of the screen, I can see sort of data for all the level 1 or intra competitions that the children in my school have participated in already. So I can see that there's been 5 entries here, which is equated to a total of 870 minutes of competition time, and an average number of pupils each time that have participated is 68. Underneath that, as a more detailed breakdown of those competitions, so I can see the date that they were on. I can see when in the school day those competitions were taking place. So good to see some lunchtime activity there, and then underneath that, more sort of generic half day, all day. So these suggest that the children were participating in a big sports event somewhere. The duration, so the amount of minutes, which adds to my minutes tally here, and then an option here to write down a specific sport, if it was a specific sport that they were competing in, so football or lacrosse, or if it wasn't a specific sport, then maybe what type of activity it was, so team challenges were selected here. If I click on the action button, I can actually go into that entry and have a bit more of a breakdown. So I know all this information already, but I can now start to see how many pupils participated and how many were boys and how many were girls. So starting to get some really good data and information about the participation levels of children in my school. Close that. So that's great. I can also at the top here filter competition entries as well. So based on date. So if I were looking for a competition that took place in a certain month, I could then filter those results and see what competition just took place in October, for example. To upload new competition entries, this is where I use the left-hand side of the screen. You'll see here. So I select the class that participated. I can actually select more than one. So if I were taking Key Stage 1 to a competition, then I would select both Year Group 1 and Year Group 2, and then I would select Key Stage 1. My description might be team games, comp, and the date, let's say February the 16th, and the time of event, I'm going to put in here half day. Let's say we do a morning, and the duration was, let's say, 2 hours. I didn't do one specific sport, so I'm not going to select that. You'll see that the fields I have to select are starred here, or asterisked here, so I don't actually have to fill in a specific sport, because they might not have played a specific sport, but they did. But I do want to select something, so either sport or activity. So I'm going to select team challenges. Then we had a full house today, so we had two groups of 30 classes. So I'm going to say there were 60 children, and I'm going to say that there were 30 boys and that there were 30 girls. And then I'm going to save that. Once I've clicked the save button, it tells me that I've done it all right, and then that adds my entry to this list, which is great. So I can see that particular entry, and it's added my recent entry to the boxes at the top. So you'll see that my entries have gone up to 6, my total minutes of competition time has gone up to 990, and my average number of pupils has changed as well. What's great about adding data for competitions and other physical activities is that I can then go back to my dashboard, and when I scroll down, the number of competitions goes up straight away. So really good way to instantly show that data entry. If I go back to intra competitions, you can see that I can select and input information for all the year groups and both key stages, and just to click on here, I can select from a whole range of different sports as well if it was a sport-specific competition that they participated in. I input data and input entries for the different types of competition in exactly the same way as I've just shown you. So for inter-competitions, I click on that tab, and again I input my inter-competition data in exactly the same way, and same for any in-school sports days. So getting ready for the summer term when those sports days really start to kick in. So that's the competition section, and a great way to show the level of competition that the children are participating in, and then really breaking it down into what sports or what activities and how many girls and how many boys are participating in those competitions.